you ever met an inmate you respected greatly? The inmate I've respected the most was a man in his late 50s who unalived 7 people mercilessly. The catch was that these people were all convicted offenders who had taken the innocence of women against their will. The man was motivated to do this because he was a father, and his 18-year-old daughter went through something like this. He tracked the guy down and worked on him until he accidentally unalived him. After ending his life, he realized he would be incarcerated for this soon, and started taking out as many of them as he could that same day. He was caught within a few hours. In prison, he was extremely well respected by other convicts, so much so that he had fellow convicts personally walking up and thanking him. He and I were great friends, as one of the men he took out had previously done things to my daughter. I routinely snuck him extra food, gave him some of my own takeout at times, and vouched for him when his name came up in conversations. He's still in prison today, but I unfortunately no longer work there. Thankfully, the warden remains, and because he owes me for saving his career that one time, I'm able to pull some strings and get that man preferential treatment to this day.
Who is your real-life superhero? When a man took my innocence from me by force, my father searched far and wide for the guy. He found a list of every offender in the area and asked me to point him out if I saw him. I did see him, and when I did, I involuntarily started hyperventilating and felt my throat tightening. Upon witnessing the panic attack I had over this, my dad promised me no human has ever suffered as much as this guy was going to. The list contained the guy's address, and before I even realized, my dad was already in the car with a toolbox. The guy suffered for 3 whole days until disaster struck. The guy, tied up to a chair, began taunting my dad and describing in detail what he had done to me and how he would do it again. My dad lost it and ended the dude's life, which wasn't his intention. He called me and told me his life was essentially over because of what he had done, and so he was going to take down as many of these monsters as he could. He looked through the list of offenders and found the worst ones, and set out to spend his final moments of freedom taking them out. One by one, he would knock on their doors and take them out with the click of a trigger. He managed to take out 7 within a couple-mile radius before he was caught. He received numerous life sentences, and it said the news didn't report on it because they didn't want anyone condoning his actions. Who is your real-life superhero? When